Breaking news in the world of Formula 1 this morning after yesterday's shock announcement that Sergio Perez would be leaving Racing Point at the end of 2020. This morning it's been announced that Sebastian Vettel will be taking his place at Aston Martin for 2021. We briefly spoke about this yesterday during that video talking about Perez's departure from Racing Point, and this has been building up for quite some time now. However, over the past couple of weeks things went a little bit quiet. We expected an announcement at the 70th anniversary Grand Prix, we then expected an announcement at the Belgian Grand Prix. But those races came and went, and Sergio appeared to be in a good position with the team. The history he had with the team, it appeared that things wouldn't be changing, but yesterday's announcement pretty much confirmed that Sebastian Vettel would be the new driver at Racing Point. And from a team point of view, this is a great move. Yes, they're getting rid of someone who has paved the way for that team through awful times of administration. Sergio Perez was the one that was there to drag them through, to get them to where they are now. 5 podiums for Racing Point, Force India, whatever you want to call them, for Sergio Perez. He has been their talisman since joining the team in 2014. So if they were going to get rid of him, it was going to have to be a very special driver indeed. Lance Stroll, his father obviously is part of that business consortium that owns the team. And in all fairness to Lance Stroll, he has been the more consistent of the two in 2020, though Sergio Perez has missed 2 Grand Prix due to illness and COVID-19 symptoms. So it was inevitable. 2 great drivers at a team. If they were going to get rid of either one of them, it was going to have to be someone that they couldn't turn down. Sebastian Vettel is a driver that they could not turn down. They've got a brilliant rebranding project for next year. Bringing Aston Martin back onto the Formula 1 grid is going to be special no matter who they have in the car. But now they've got a 4-time world champion in that car, a driver that big if, they can get back to his peak, back to the Sebastian Vettel we saw at Red Bull, a driver who felt cared for, who felt comfortable and confident in the car. They've got a brilliant driver there. They've got someone who can push them forward to make that next step, to fight for titles, to battle the likes of Mercedes, of Red Bull, and I would say Ferrari, but even this year Racing Point have jumped in front of Ferrari. But there's no doubt this is a risk for Aston Martin. Sebastian Vettel over the last couple of years has not been that Sebastian Vettel who's been world class, ready to take a fight to Mercedes. But neither have Ferrari, that have made plenty of mistakes, and this year, well, I don't think it's best we talk about Ferrari this year in this particular video. So for Aston, it's a gamble. Sergio Perez has been so consistent, one of the most consistent F1 drivers for years within that team, and it's gutting he's not going to get that opportunity to fight at the front for the first time in his career. It's also gutting that in his statement yesterday, he still doesn't have a plan for 2021 and may yet not be on the grid. There may be opportunities elsewhere, but at the moment, it's not set in stone that Sergio will race in 2021. For Sebastian Vettel, this is absolutely brilliant. We know there's been plenty of issues at Ferrari, not just this season, but it's been building up over the last couple of years. That title challenge that was so close in 2017, 2018, never quite came to fruition. This year, of course, the shock announcement, and I really do believe it was a shock announcement, that the team no longer wanted him for next season, 2021 and beyond, and was replacing him with Carlos Sainz. That was a massive story during the beginning of lockdown. And at the time, we had lots of discussions about what potential avenues Vettel could go down to stay in Formula 1. But even that didn't seem concrete, as he was giving little cryptic messages that maybe he may take a year off, he may even retire. Red Bull was a destination people were desperate to see Vettel staying the fight at the front and link up with his former team. Alex Albon struggling in 2020, but now we've seen Gasly's win. That seems even more of an obscure destination. Lots of people would have loved to see him at Mercedes alongside Lewis Hamilton, but Bottas then got an additional contract extension. Aston Martin was the only destination that realistically would have been a top team and a project I think Sebastian Vettel would have really enjoyed to work on. There would have been teams further back, Haas, Alfa Romeo, Williams, that I'm sure would have loved to have Sebastian Vettel. But for Seb, he is a driver that only last won a Grand Prix last season. We're not talking about years and years and years ago. And though the downward spiral has been quite sharp in the last 18 months, he only finished 20 points behind Charles Leclerc last season. And this season, well, that Ferrari car has been far from consistent. So being able to move to a team where he feels wanted, he feels valued, I think already will boost Seb's confidence and really push him forward to that level of Sebastian Vettel we saw at Red Bull. Will it be at quite those levels? That's yet to be seen. However, we have seen glimpses of that this season and last season. Think back to Germany last season where everyone was spinning off in those wet conditions. Sebastian Vettel started P20 and dead last and fought his way back to second place with all that going on. You can't do that unless you've got some bit of talent left in you. And I think with that little bit of a shoulder to cry on almost, with a team ready to be looking to you to make decisions about the car, to make decisions about which direction to go up on setup, on strategy, I think that's something Vettel will really relish. And it's something that he had during his time at Red Bull, but not so much at Ferrari, which is an opportunity Vettel couldn't turn down at the time. And I still do believe that the decision to move to Ferrari and his time at Ferrari, for the most part, has been very, very successful. And it is a real shame that it's come to the end of its tenure and it's all falling apart. But this is an opportunity Seb couldn't turn down. And actually, though it really pains me that Sergio Perez has been forced out of this team and potentially may not even have a drive, for Aston Martin, for Sebastian Vettel, I am really, really excited. And from a business point of view, from a marketing point of view, especially within the British market and German market, European market as a whole, one of Aston Martin's key markets, bringing in a driver like Sebastian Vettel is going to be priceless for them. They're a company already struggling from a financial point of view. This won't help massively in terms of salary, but certainly in terms of revenue and sales and sponsorship deals. That's going to really excite the team. Potential investors are going to be able to get behind the story of reinvigorating this four-time world champion's career. And I hope for Vettel and for Aston Martin, this is the right decision. This is one that's been brewing over and boiling up over the last couple of months. But I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you all very much for watching. Your preview for the Tuscan Grand Prix will be out a little bit later on today, 4 o'clock UK time, so keep your eye out for that one. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.